eyes and a wild mane of curly brown hair. She had a deep imagination and believed that dreams could become reality if one truly desired them. Lily had a best friend named Jake. Jake was a boy with messy hair and a sense of adventure that matched Lily's. Together, they spent every afternoon exploring the woods behind their houses, visiting secret hideouts, and creating magical worlds in their minds. Lily often described her dreams to Jake, who listened intently, his eyes sparkling with curiosity. One sunny afternoon, as they sat under their favorite oak tree, Lily shared a particularly ambitious dream. "I want to fly, Jake. I want to soar through the sky like a bird," she declared, her hands waving excitedly in the air. Jake chuckled and said, "That would be amazing, but how can we make that happen?" Lily thought for a moment and replied, "We could build wings. We can use cardboard and feathers. We just need to find the right stuff." With a plan in mind, the two friends gathered materials from their backyards and began creating their wings. They cut cardboard into large shapes and glued feathers onto them. After hours of work, they finally had a pair of makeshift wings that mostly resembled what they had envisioned. "I can't wait to try them," Jake exclaimed, his excitement bubbling over. Lily climbed to a small hill nearby, holding the wings tightly. She felt both nervous and excited. With Jake cheering her on from below, she took a deep breath and jumped off the hill, flapping her wings as hard as she could. But instead of soaring into the sky, she landed softly on the grassy ground, giggling at her failed attempt. "Not quite flying yet," Jake laughed, running over to her. "Maybe we need to make them stronger." Days turned into weeks as they continued building and testing different wing designs. Each attempt brought with it laughter and the occasional scrape, yet they remained full of hope and determination. They experimented with varying materials, eventually finding bright, colorful fabric and wooden frames. One evening, as the sun began to set, painting the sky in shades of orange and pink, they revealed their finished creation. The wings were bigger, brighter, and looked more like real wings than ever before. They stood proudly, amazed by their hard work. "This is it, Lily. Tonight we will fly," Jake exclaimed with enthusiasm. Nervously, they made their way to the tallest hill in Willow Creek, the wind whipping through their hair. Lily strapped on the wings and felt a surge of courage. "Okay, here we go," she shouted, heart racing. With Jake encouraging her from behind, she raced down the hill and leaped into the air. For a moment, time stood still. The wind rushed around her, and she felt as if she were soaring. But quickly, gravity took hold, and she crashed softly onto the grassy field below. "Did you see that? It felt like flying for a second," Lily said, her face glowing with excitement. Jake sat beside her, breathless. "You actually got some air. We are getting closer, Lily." But as the days passed, the reality of their dreams slowly began to weigh on them. Each jump ended with a thud, and soon they felt discouraged. "Maybe dreams are just that, dreams," Lily said one evening, sitting under the oak tree, her spirit deflating. "No, they're not. We just have to believe more," Jake replied firmly. But even he found it hard to stay optimistic. One rainy day, while they were staying indoors, an unusual idea struck Lily. "What if we went to visit Old Man Thompson? He's an inventor. Maybe he could help us." Jake shrugged. "I've heard he's a little strange, but it's worth a try." The next day, with their hearts set on visiting the old inventor, they made their way to Old Man Thompson's workshop. It was filled with whirring gadgets and piles of mysterious parts. The old man, wearing thick glasses and a worn-out apron, welcomed them with a curious gaze. "What brings you two here?" he asked, tilting his head. Lily and Jake hesitated, but soon explained their dream of flying. Old Man Thompson nodded, stroking his beard. "Dreams can be wonderful, but they often require work and creativity. I think I can help." Excited, Lily and Jake followed him as he rummaged through his workshop, finally pulling out a small device that looked like a combination of wings and a backpack. "This is a prototype of my flying machine," he explained. "It won't have the magic of true flight, but it may allow you to experience something close." With their hearts racing, Lily and Jake accepted the challenge. Old Man Thompson taught them how to operate it. The following week, on a chilly morning, they stood outside again, ready to test the invention. With the flying machine strapped on, Lily felt sparks of anticipation. Jake gave her a reassuring smile. With a push of a button and a gentle lift, the machine whirred to life. Lily took a running start, and just like that, she was lifting off the ground. The sensation was unlike anything she ever imagined. For the first time, she felt the breeze beneath her as she soared above the trees. "This is amazing," she shouted, her laughter echoing through the air. As Lily glided through the sky, she spotted Jake cheering at the base of the hill, a broad smile on his face. The blend of joy and adventure washed over her, knowing their dream had become a reality, one that was built with friendship, creativity, and hard work. When she finally landed, they both hugged tightly, their eyes sparkling. "We did it! We made our dream come true," Jake exclaimed. From that day on, the two friends didn't just chase dreams. They learned how to turn them into reality. With a magical invention made by Old Man Thompson, they discovered new adventures in their small town, always believing that anything was possible if you dared to dream. As the sun set on Willow Creek, Lily looked at her wings and smiled. "From dreams to reality," she said to herself, feeling grateful for the journey and the friend by her side. Once in a small town called Maplewood, there lived a young girl named Emma. Emma was a dreamer. Every night, she would lie in her cozy bed, staring at the stars through her window, and imagine all the amazing things she could do. From flying like a bird to exploring distant planets, her dreams took her everywhere. Emma had a best friend named Sam. Sam was practical and loved science. While Emma's dreams soared, Sam loved experiments and facts. They complemented each other perfectly. Emma would dream up fantastic ideas, and Sam would help her understand how to make them happen. One sunny afternoon, while walking home from school, Emma shared her big dream with Sam. "I want to build a real flying machine, just like those in my dreams. It would soar into the sky and let me see the world from up high." Sam listened carefully and nodded. "That sounds exciting, Emma. We could build a small glider first, but we'll need some materials and a lot of planning." Emma's eyes sparkled with excitement. "Yes, let's do it. We can gather materials from my garage. My dad has some old things we can use." They rushed to Emma's house, their minds bursting with ideas. In the garage, they found an old kite, some wood planks, and a few old bicycle wheels. Emma clapped her hands with joy. "Look at all this stuff. We can use the kite for the wings." Sam found a large piece of cardboard. "And this can be for the body. Let's sketch our design." They drew an outline of the flying machine on the cardboard, giggling and talking about their future adventures. Every day after school, Emma and Sam worked on their project. Sometimes they faced problems. The wings would not stay on, or the machine would be too heavy to lift. But they never gave up. They learned to fix things together. They read books, watched videos, and even asked Emma's dad for advice. He was amazed at their determination and offered to help on weekends. As weeks passed, the flying machine began to take shape. One breezy Saturday morning, they stood back to admire their work. The glider looked like a colorful bird with wings spread wide. "It's beautiful," Emma exclaimed. "Do you really think it will fly?" Sam rubbed his chin, deep in thought. There's only one way to find out. They decided to take their machine to Maplewood Hill, the highest spot in town. Excitement bubbled within them as they carried their creation. When they arrived, the view was breathtaking, just like Emma had imagined. The trees swayed gently, and the sky was a bright blue. With help from Emma's dad, they set up the glider. Emma's heart raced as they prepared for first test flight. "Are you ready?" Sam asked, adjusting his glasses. "I feel like I'm going to burst from excitement." Emma giggled. They helped each other into the glider. Emma strapped herself in while Sam double-checked everything. With a gentle push, they started their first attempt. The glider rolled down the small slope. Emma screamed with joy as the machine began to lift off the ground. For a few glorious seconds, they were rising. Emma felt the thrill of being in the air, just like in her dreams. But suddenly, the glider dipped and landed with a soft thud on the grass. They tumbled out, laughing and a little dizzy. "That was amazing. We actually flew," Emma shouted. Sam grinned. "We need to improve the wings. They don't give enough lift. Let's try again." Days turned into weeks as they made several adjustments. They added longer wings, used lighter materials, and even painted the glider with bright colors. Each test brought them closer to success. With every flight, Emma felt the magic of her dreams edging closer to reality. One evening, after another attempt, they sat on the grass, looking up at the stars. What if we make it fly longer? Sam asked thoughtfully. What if we add a small engine? Emma suggested. They both knew an engine would be a challenge, and neither of them had ever worked with engines before, but the idea fascinated them. Sam suggested they visit the local library. There, they searched for books about engines and flight. They discovered that they would need to design a small engine themselves. This was a daunting task, but Emma's determination grew stronger. If we believe in it enough, we can make it happen. With this new goal in mind, they focus their project now on finding the right materials and building a simple engine. They spent hours reading and sketching ideas. Finally, they gathered parts from old toys, bikes, and their research to create a model. The day arrived when they decided to test their new flying machine with the engine. Full of nerves and excitement, they set up once more at Maplewood Hill. Emma's dad was there, having supported them through this journey. As they placed the glider at the top of the hill, they could feel the excitement in the air. Emma climbed into the glider. "This is it," she yelled. Sam held the small remote control to start the engine. He took a deep breath and pressed a button. With a loud whir, the engine came to life. As they pushed the glider down the hill, it began to lift higher and higher. Emma gasped, feeling the wind rushing past her face. For the first time, the glider soared above the trees. She could see the world beneath her, the rushing river and their small town. Emma were flying. Sam shouted from below, and he ran alongside the glider, cheering. Joy filled her heart as she realized her dream had become a reality. She felt free and happy, seeing the world from a height she had only imagined. For a brief moment, everything felt perfect, but then she noticed the glider began to tilt. Panic surged through her. "Sam, it's going down." She felt fear grip her, but she remembered all the hard work they had put into this moment. With some quick thinking, she twisted the controls and managed to steady the flying machine. Slowly, she brought it down for a smooth landing. Sam ran toward her, eyes wide with excitement. "You did it, Emma. You actually flew." They hugged tightly, laughter and joy bursting out of them. That day marked not just a moment of triumph, but a testament to their friendship and unwavering belief in their dreams. Emma learned that dreams, when combined with hard work and determination, could take flight. They both knew this was only the beginning. With new ideas and inventions swirling in their minds, they felt ready to take on even bigger challenges. As they left Maplewood Hill, Emma looked up at the stars and whispered, "From dreams to reality, we will go as far as we dare." And Sam smiled, knowing that together, they could reach for the stars.